And this is the #1 reason why most people's diets fail. And it's one of the most common mistakes that I see. And it's having your hands tied behind your back with too much restriction. And here is the fix. Hey, I'm Jacob, attorney and fitness coach. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the top 10 tips that I have to stay in shape despite a super busy work schedule. These are some of the same tips that I learned while navigating law school, studying for the bar exam, and then practicing as an associate attorney to stay lean despite working 50, 60, and 70-hour weeks. And these are the types of tips that I teach to my clients to help them crush their fitness goals despite demanding work schedules. #1 is calories trump macros. And so it's really easy to get caught up in the confusion, carbohydrates, fats, proteins, how much should I eat of all these different macronutrients? But the reality is you have to start with the calories because this is what's going to determine your body weight. So whether you elect to cut carbohydrates or eat more fats or choose a keto diet, these are all different vehicles that are going to get you to the same destination. If you want to stay lean, you need to be in a calorie deficit. #2 is to track calories in grams and not teaspoons or cups. This can get confusing, especially if you're using a number of different metrics to weigh your foods in different ways. And this takes us back to, well, you need to be counting your calories at least in some capacity towards the beginning, because otherwise you're not going to have any idea of what you're eating. And this is one of the #1 mistakes that I see with people when I talk to them on a discovery call and figure out what's going on their end to create these sorts of struggles and obstacles in their fitness journey, is that they're grossly underestimating or overestimating what they're eating. So an easy solution to this is to simply track your food. And if you do that, go ahead and track in grams. It's going to be much more specific, and you can apply that across the board to all the food items that you're eating. #3 is to structure each meal around a protein. So if you think about building your meals, you want to have a framework that you follow. And this is one of the things that I like to give to my clients. I don't give them meal plans because that doesn't work. It's too rigid. You need something that's flexible, that works with your schedule. So you want to learn how to build meals around a lean protein source. That means anywhere from 20 to 40 grams per plate per meal is how much protein you want to be shooting for. And then you can surround that, build it out with carbohydrates, fruits, vegetables, that kind of thing. That's going to help make sure that you stay full throughout the day because protein has a satiating effect. And it's also going to make sure that you stay on track with your protein goals, which are necessary to make sure that when you're losing weight, you're actually losing fat and not just water weight or, God forbid, muscle. #4 is to choose one ingredient meals 80% of the time. This is going to make it way easier to track. It makes things way more simple when you're not having to put together recipes and you can just focus on one ingredient foods. Think eggs, salmon, beef. It's basic, it's simple, but the thing is, it works. And why not try and make your life as easy as possible? This doesn't mean that you can't dress it up with low-calorie seasonings or low-calorie sauces, but if you just stick with single ingredient food items, it's going to make your life so much easier. #5 is convenience counts. So some people will tell you,
hey, you need to avoid all of these processed foods. You can't be having protein bars and protein shakes. Focus on your whole foods.
And to some extent, that can be good advice to focus on whole foods. But convenience also matters. So what's optimal isn't going to work if it's not practical. So if you're on the road a lot, you're traveling, you have long hours in the office, it makes sense to have protein bars. You can pack them in your bag. It takes 5-10 seconds in the morning to just pull it out of the cupboard and put it in your work bag. And that's going to give you 20 or 30 grams of protein. It's going to help you get to your protein goal. It's going to help you stay full. And it's a much better option for a snack compared to just an empty carbohydrate snack. And real quick, if you're enjoying this video so far and feel like you're learning some valuable tips, please consider subscribing to my channel so that you don't miss videos like this in the future. #6 is to write a grocery list before you shop. And now with my clients, I give them a grocery list that is built around a framework. So how many carbohydrates, how many proteins, how many fruits, how many vegetables. That way, when you walk into the grocery store, you have clarity. You know exactly what you're getting. You can save money, you can save time and do it a bit faster. And you're actually shopping in a goal-oriented way. You're not going to hover up and down the snack aisle and before you know it, have 3 or 4 sugary snacks in your cart, because ultimately, if your house is filled with sugary snacks like that, that's what you're going to be eating. And you can get out ahead of that decision-making process by simply coming up with a list before you get to the grocery store. If you're making it up on the fly, honestly, good luck. Temptation is real. I second guess my grocery list every time I walk past the Krispy Kreme donuts aisle. Just something about those donuts, man. #7 is to actually grocery shop online. So this kind of builds off the last tip, and it's going to be a great return on investment in terms of your time, because you're able to save time. You don't have the transportation to and from the grocery store, the actual time that it takes to get the groceries, put it in your cart, check out. You skip all of that, It is a little bit more expensive for the delivery fee, but at the same time, if you're able to shop more objectively, more of a purpose, you're not going to be so emotional because the treats and the snacks aren't right in front of you. They're blocked by a screen. Then you can just select everything that you know you need, and you're going to be able to check out with the exact foods that you need and not get any mystery items. And you'll actually probably end up saving money buying things that you actually need, as opposed to kind of window shopping and deciding, hey, maybe I could have those Rice Krispie treats, or maybe that chocolate milk does look pretty good. Essentially, fewer impulse buys offsets the delivery fee. So this is something that if you're not already doing it, I would highly recommend considering in the future. Number 8 is the 80-20 rule. And this is the number one reason why most people's diets fail. And it's one of the most common mistakes that I see, and it's having your hands tied behind your back with too much restriction. And here is the fix. It's by allowing these sort of cheat meals to be a part of your diet. So it's not as if you're either all in or all out. You're either in the diet mode or you're eating a cheat meal. It's not like that. Instead, your diet is all encompassing, and 80% of your diet is good, clean, whole foods, but 20% of your diet, you can still enjoy the fun, tasty snacks that you like, and that's actually going to keep you on track with your goals. So you don't think about it as cheat meals and regular meals. It's just, this is how I eat now. This is my nutrition framework. So if you're following that rule, it's going to make your diet feel much more flexible. And when it's more flexible, it's going to be more sustainable. And that's how you create long-term fat loss. Number 9 is it's okay to actually eat out and enjoy time with your friends and go out to a restaurant. It's not going to kill all of your progress. So if you go out one night, it's not going to ruin everything, the same way that you can't have a perfect day and then all of a sudden have the perfect body. Everything takes time. You have to think about it with averages. Now, when you do go out, there are some things that you can do, like eat in moderation, not have too big size of portions. Instead of having 2 desserts, just have 1. And try and estimate the sort of calories that you're having. You can just ballpark it. Again, this is not preparation for a bodybuilding show. This is how to diet practically for the rest of your life and stay in shape and stay lean while navigating personal relationships, your life, your career, those sorts of real world things. And the best way to do that is to have built-in flexibility that allows you to go out and eat things that you enjoy. That's really important. And number 10 is doing cardio that curbs cravings. Now, there are certainly times where high intensity interval training makes sense, especially if you're really short on time and you just need to get a workout in. But a lot of times that's your weight training. Your other cardiovascular work should be things that are low intensity, stuff like walking on an inclined treadmill, going on the elliptical. These sorts of things actually force your body to use fat, because your body has 2 choices when you exercise. It either chooses glycogen, which are carbohydrates, and it does that when it's high intensity work, like weightlifting, or it chooses fat if you're doing more low intensity exercise, because the fuel is not quite as efficient. It doesn't need to burn carbohydrates for that. So that's why it makes more sense to do low intensity, steady state cardio as your primary source of cardio, especially if you combine that with weightlifting. It's also going to help get rid of some of the cravings, because think about it. If you're doing high intensity work all the time, you're using up all those carbohydrates as fuel to fuel your body to do that high intensity work. And then what's your body going to want to do when you get back home afterwards? Well, it's going to want to replenish all those carbohydrates. So your cravings are going to spike and go through the roof. So one way to get out in front of that and put yourself in a better position for success is to focus on low intensity, steady state cardio. And if you're interested in working with me in a one-on-one setting, I don't have any other coaches. I'm the person that answers the phones. I'm the person that creates the posts. I'm the one that works with you and builds your workout program. I'm going to put some information in the description below. Feel free to check that out and submit an application. If you have any questions, I'd encourage you to follow me on Instagram. You can shoot me a message there and we can go back and forth and discuss if you have any concerns or thoughts or things that you're maybe not so sure about. And for a more in-depth version of what I'd recommend if you're navigating a busy schedule and still want to prioritize your fitness in a practical way, check out this video.